What if I told you that fear isn't your enemy, but your greatest teacher? What if the thing standing between you and the life that you desire isn't the fear itself, but how you choose to respond to it? By the end of this video, you'll learn 7 powerful ways to shift your relationship with fear so it no longer holds you back from creating your dream reality. The first powerful way in overcoming fear is to have the awareness and acknowledgement of that fear. So, by recognizing it instead of suppressing it, we can begin to identify, where is it coming from? Is it coming from limiting beliefs? Is it rooted in past experiences or deep-seated conditioning? Observe how the fear is showing up in your thoughts, in your emotions, and in your actions. For me, I had a paralyzing fear of putting myself out there on the internet, my authentic self, who I truly am, sharing my story. And this is because I had to hide who I truly was as a child. I had to hide my authentic self. I couldn't express who I truly was, and I was playing a character that everyone else wanted me to play. And I didn't know how to be my authentic self because I didn't feel accepted for who I truly was, because there would be times where I would put myself out there and then I would get judged or rejected, and so I just felt like I had to isolate and to hide myself from the world. And there's actually this mask has a story. So this was the mask that I was going to wear on my channel. I wasn't going to show my face. But then I was practicing my public speaking skills, and I recorded a video of myself talking about overcoming fear, right? And so as I watched the playback of the mask on my face, muffling my voice, as I speak about overcoming fear, I realized how hypocritical and stupid that sounded, right? Um, but then I'm like, oh, it hit me that I have to show my face. I have to authentically be who I am and share who I truly am, despite the fear of that I feel about my past, of having to hide myself. I have to overcome that aspect of myself so that I can step into the life that I desire, into an abundant mindset, instead of allowing myself to stay in that lack mindset of I have to hide myself because I'm going to be judged. Who the fuck cares? Like, don't allow any external sources to hold you back from living your dream reality, because so many of us, we allow external judgments of like people from our past. I put my first YouTube video out there, my first video out there in general, and I had like nightmares, bro, of like people from my past, and a lot of fear came up in my dreams to be shed, to shed that old ways of being, to shed that lack mindset. I allowed my subconscious mind to work through it in my dreams. And like I've been experiencing that for the last couple of days, ever since I posted my first video. And so I wanted to share that with you guys, to show you that, like, it is scary and it brings up a lot of anxiety, but it's bringing up a lot of the emotions and a lot of the things that I need to work through in order to get to that dream reality that I'm wanting to get. And that's why I'm so excited and smiling, because I have the awareness that those are the things that I have to go through in order to get to my dream reality. The second powerful way in overcoming fear is reframing that fear. So fear isn't the enemy, it's a signal, it's a messenger. Instead of resisting it, ask, what is this fear trying to teach me? Shift your perspective from what if I fail to what if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams. Don't treat fear as a stop sign. See it as a portal to your next level. I reframed the fear by understanding that the fear was revealing the steps, revealing the path that I needed to take in order to start creating my dream reality and to step into that. So instead of focusing on what if, it doesn't work out, what all the things that could go wrong, I started focusing on what if it works out better than I could have ever imagined, right? If other people can do it, then why not me? And there was some part of me that felt unworthy, that felt like I wasn't smart enough, that I didn't read enough books yet. And I've been studying for like 3 years and I've only scratched the surface, right? But I was utilizing that as an excuse to not do the thing that scared me, which was to put myself, authentic self, out there and share who I truly am and the things that I'm interested in. And a lot of that isn't really accepted from where I'm from. With growing up in Catholic schools, studying like spirituality and the new age and the esoteric and tarot and palmistry and all that stuff really isn't accepted. It's looked at as like evil. 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 It feels even more scary for me to put myself out there, and because I almost have like a shame around these things because of my past conditioning, because of the religious environment that I grew up in. It's brought like shame to it, that what I'm doing is wrong, that what I'm doing is evil, but it's not, because it helped me tremendously in my life. And I am an unconditionally loving being. I have truly stepped into who I truly am and am truly spreading unconditional love to the world. And that is what we're all here to do, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And spreading the knowledge that helped me overcome aspects of myself. And I know that it is my purpose to share the things that I've been learning, with other people, and to start building a community of people who are interested in bettering themselves and to learning more about spirituality and self-transformation and all of these concepts. So I am truly grateful for the people who are supporting me. And I'm grateful that I get this opportunity to share myself and to be vulnerable and to put myself out there so that we can come together and better ourselves. But I realize like my story is powerful, and there's a lot of things that I've had to overcome that I thought I never would. And so I'm grateful that I get to be able to overcome my fear and do it with you at the same time, like show you like, hey, this is what I'm doing to start creating my dream reality. And yes, I'm scared. Like, I'm pooping my pants right now, but I'm still showing up and I'm still working through it. And I have people who are supporting me, and I'm truly grateful for that, because it makes it less scary when you have people who are like, wow, that really helped me, or wow, that was a great explanation. And that makes me feel so good, because I know that I'm helping somebody, or I'm relating with someone and someone can relate to me. It makes me feel seen, which is ironic because that's what I've been trying to, I've always hid myself, but it feels good to be seen and to be understood and to be appreciated, I guess, for putting myself out there. The third powerful way in overcoming fear is mindfulness and emotional regulation. When fear rises, take a deep breath and bring your awareness into the present moment, into the now. Practices like meditation, journaling, and affirmations can help calm these fear-based emotions. Something that I like to do is I like to take walks in nature and tune into my senses to fully bring myself into the present moment. I love listening to the birds, to the different bugs, to the different animals, and the cars and the lawnmowers and the airplanes. There's so much going on. The beautiful sounds of the wind, I mean, feeling the wind and all the different senses you can tap into, like the smell of the bonfire or fresh cut grass. And so this really allows me to tune into the present moment and to not allow my thoughts to take over my mind. And meditation is a great way for that too, to truly focus on the present moment and take no thought. Because in meditation, a lot of the times our brain will try to put, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that, and take us out of the present moment, right? But it's truly great to practice that so that you can take no thought and be truly in the now. And the more that you practice that, the more that you can actively bring that into your life and live from a state of presence rather than being bombarded by your thoughts, but being an observer of your thoughts as you are in the now, living your life of joy, of fun, and of play. And another thing that I like to do is journal. So journal has helped me a lot. I love to journal every day and I get to see my growth over time. And that has been very beneficial. And I love to write the signs and synchronicities that I've been noticing for that day and seeing how they align from years from the past. And it's truly amazing. There's so many more signs and synchronicities within my own journal, within my dreams. It's important to write down your dreams too, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on in your dreams that you may not even remember. And so when you write them down, it's like, wow, that makes so much sense with what's going on in my life. And so, an affirmation that I like to use with fear is I choose faith over fear, knowing that everything is unfolding for my highest good and the highest good of all. Another thing that I like to do is talk to myself. So I like talking out loud to myself when I'm working through fear or any other kind of like perceived negative emotion of like anger or whatever. If I'm just feeling like heavy in my chest with an emotion, I like to speak out loud to like myself or my ancestors, my spirit team, and work through whatever situation that I'm going through. And a lot of the time I will find that I have epiphanies or I'm led to the answer. It's almost like my higher self is guiding me through that conversation to give me the advice that I need to get to the next step or to work through that emotion. The fourth way in overcoming fear is your inner dialogue and self-compassion. Speak to yourself the way that you would speak to someone you love, with kindness, with encouragement, and with grace. Shift from self-criticism to self-support so your inner words are shaping your energy. Fear is a natural human emotion. So acknowledge it without judgment and meet it with compassion. In my past, I was my own worst enemy. I was harshly criticizing myself. I was never enough. I constantly said the worst things to myself, the worst negative self-talk. And I honestly hated myself. I didn't know how to love myself. And so, through treating myself like I would treat the people that I loved, I learned how to love myself. And I learned how to show myself the same grace that I would show them. The fifth way in overcoming fear is trust and surrender. Fear often arises from the illusion of needing to control everything. The more we try to control everything, the more the fear grows. Trust that the unknown holds possibilities beyond what you could currently imagine, and that you've overcome hard things before and you can do it again. So, leaning into that faith and intuition and surrendering to a higher power allows that fear to soften and divine guidance to lead. I used to fear the unknown and the unexpected, but I came to realize that the unknown is where the magic of life unfolds. It's where the synchronicities and the miracles and the new possibilities are born. I used to focus on what was going wrong, and that was attracting more of what was going wrong. And when I started focusing on the things that were going right, I started to attract more things going right. And I realized that the bad things that happened in my past needed to happen in order for things to get 10 times better. And I feel like when you're in those situations where you're perceiving this bad thing to happen to you. You can't see the good that's going to come from it in the future because you're in that moment of like, oh, this bad thing's happening to me, and my life is falling apart. But then like years go by, and then you understand why. You understand why it had to happen, why it all had to happen. And now that I've reached this level of consciousness that I have, I am truly grateful for everything that has ever happened to me to get me to this point, because I have never been happier, full of joy, and living a life that I truly love, and I feel so fulfilled, and I am truly grateful to be alive and to ultimately start creating the reality that I do desire, and working through the limitations, working through the fear, and trusting and surrendering to the universe. The sixth way in overcoming fear is exposure and action. Fear fades with action, so take consistent small steps toward what scares you. This repeated exposure rewires your brain and shifts your perception and reduces the threat of fear. Breaking down overwhelming goals into manageable baby steps allows you to help you keep that flow and to avoid feeling paralyzed. For a period in my life, I hated going anywhere. I hated going outside of the house. I was afraid. I was afraid from the things that had happened to me in my past, that something horrible was going to happen to me again. So I just didn't want to go anywhere because I didn't want anything bad to happen to me. And so I realized that though fear is just an internal illusion, and we are taught to avoid the discomfort. We're taught to fear failure. We're taught to seek approval. And so fear often shows up as a protective mechanism. But most of the time, it's not warning us of an actual real danger. It's just echoing the old beliefs that no longer serve us. The moral of this whole lesson is do it scared. Do it scared, because action dissolves fear. The seventh way in overcoming fear is to embody courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but it's acting despite it. Fear will always exist on the edge of expansion. Courage is choosing growth anyway. Practice stepping into your higher self, the version of you that's already beyond the fear, and visualize the version of you who already lives the life that you desire. And start embodying that energy now. And ask yourself, if I had no fear, what would I do? And then take a small step in that direction. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That's what's going on here. The more you can take those baby steps, the more you gain the courage, the confidence to overcome your fear. I often ask myself, what would my higher self be doing right now? And then I go do that thing. Or I write down what I think my higher self would be doing on a daily basis. And I try to keep implementing that into my life so that I can step into that higher version of me. So another way that I tune in or tap into my higher self is through meditation. There's a lot of higher self meditations out there, like guided meditations. You can do one without a guide and just go within and listen to what your higher self is wanting to tell you. But I find guided meditations help me a bit more and allows me to digest more information of what I want to be downloading, of the next steps that I need to take in order to get to where I want to go. And the main thing here for embodying courage is courage over comfort, to have that courage to move to that life that you desire, instead of staying stuck in that old mindset, and having that courage to get out of your comfort zone, to go into that life that you desire, to take those actions to step into that life you desire despite the fear. Fear is just an energy, and it can either paralyze you or propel you. The choice is ultimately yours. If this video resonated with you, go ahead and drop a comment below. What fear are you currently overcoming? And what are the steps you are committed to taking in order to move through that? Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. And always remember that everything that you seek is already within you. All my love, Ash.